It's Mr. Alan in another science session again. Today we are learning to investigate human organs, or what we call the organ systems. And to do that, let me give you a quick starter. Have you ever imagined the parts of a computer, the different components that makes up a computer? Can we list them? We have the monitor, system unit that has to do with the arithmetic and logic unit, the central processing unit, the registers and the cache memory. We have the mouse, we have the keyboard, then we have the electric buses or conductors that makes them to function or interact with one another. Then above all, there's a software that runs the computer hardware to make a computer carry out certain commands or functions. That's a quick cross-curricular with ICT, that is information communication technology. Now let's bring it to human and organ systems. That's how the human body is wired. Human body has different components, both internal and external organs that come together to perform a similar or a simple function. And what is the overall reason for the functioning of the body? To ensure the body's coordination and to keep an organism alive for as long as possible. Don't forget Mr. Niger card that has to do with movement, respiration, nutrition or feeding, irritability or sensitivity, growth, expression. The other R is for reproduction, because organisms reproduce themselves from one generation to another. And lastly, they undergo competition, they undergo adaptation, and they are wired to die at a certain point in time. So these organ systems are similar structures that come together in a particular arrangement in order to elicit a function in the body. That leads me to identifying these organs of the body. To do that, there's what we call the organization of life, or the hierarchy of life. Life begins from the cell stage. For instance, spermatozoa and the ova from the female and the male fuses together to form a zygote, which later metamorphoses or grows into different organs and tissues to organs that later come together to also form the systems of the body. And the systems put together, performing similar functions, forms a whole multicellular organism. And this brings us to the main topic of today, organs and organ system. So the body is made up of organs, and let's quickly identify the organs. I have the human torso here, and in this human torso I have the lungs. The lungs is an organ of the body. As you can see here, the lungs helps to exchange oxygen between the blood and the external environment to keep our body going. Then this is the heart. The heart actually serves to circulate blood around the body that carries dissolved oxygen and nutrients for our body's growth and development. Here I have the liver. This is the liver. The liver filters the blood and also removes toxic waste from the body. We have here the stomach. This is the stomach. The stomach serves as a pouch that serves as a means to break down or digest the foods we eat before further intake into the body. Then we have here the large and the small intestines. They are also organs of the body. And the small intestine, food is extracted into the bloodstream after digestion or cellular respiration, while the large intestine helps to pass out undigested food. Now we'll talk about the locations of these organs. There are many more organs. The eye is for sight. We have the nose for smelling. We have the ear for hearing. We have the skin for feeling things like stimuli in the environment. The heart is located at the center of the chest. As you can see, I pulled it out from here. Then we have the lungs is located at the front of the chest, and they are a paired organ, as you can see then here. The liver is just a bit below the lungs in the human internal organs. It's located just below the lungs. Then we have what we call the diaphragm also. The diaphragm is a structure that helps to rest the abdomen and other organs like the liver, and it serves as a cushion, just the way your cushion chair helps you to relax in your house. Then we have the eyes. The eye is located on the head. It's an external organ. The ear, the nose, they are all located on the head. Then the skin is the largest organ in the human body that covers the body both internally and externally. So that gives us external and internal organs. Okay, having said that, let me just talk about systems briefly. Systems are a collection of many organs, like I mentioned, working together to perform a similar function. So I have my skeletal structure or model here. It has been my friend for quite a while in the science lab. Can you imagine? It's just that I didn't give it a name, but I'll give him a name. I think I'll call him Jason. I like the name Jason. Okay, this whole structure is a system. This is the skeletal or the bony structure or framework of the human body. It is a system because there are many bones put together in this structure, from the skull to the rib cage to the vertebral column to the limbs, both upper limbs and the lower limbs, and many other parts that make it up to form a system. So this is a system on its own, having many organs on it. Like the skull houses the brain, because the brain is a delicate organ. So it serves as a means of protection in that case. So this is a system that gives our body a framework for movement, production of blood. It gives us shape and also helps us to move, run or walk from one place to another. On this, I have another organ here. Do you know the teeth is also an organ? Yes, it is used for processing foods in our mouth. We know that the teeth is divided into 4 types. We have the incisors here, we have the canines, which is the pointed teeth, we have the premolars, and the 4th one is called the molars. Now the teeth as a whole is an organ on its own, or a tissue as it is. Forms part of the skeletal system or the bony structure of the body, but it's found in the mouth. So this is just one of them. I have another chart for you here that shows the reproductive system. This is the reproductive system that serves as a means for organisms to reproduce themselves from one generation to another. So this is a reproductive system. It's a system because there are many organs that are found in this reproductive system that makes it to be called a reproductive system. And what are the organs? Like we have the male and the female reproductive organs. So many parts came together to form this. Alright. Lastly, I have the muscular system. This is just a structure of flesh that covers the skeleton. The skeleton is that remains after an organism has decomposed. Now, the flesh is also known as the muscles that covers from the head to the toe. What does the muscular structure do? It gives us shape, it provides support, and it helps to cover our skeleton from being naked or being exposed to the external environment. So this is a system on its own, and what makes up the system? A lot of muscle tissues came together to form the organs that make up this entire system. Then when we put all these systems together, it forms what we call a whole multicellular organism, like myself, or like this human torso, when all these are put together. So we can go on and explore more about human organs and organ systems, but the whole essence of this is to tell you that life begins from the cells stage to the tissue stage to the organ stage to the systems, and when all of them are put together, when we grow from one stage to the other, we metamorphose from one stage to the other, we have a whole multicellular organism. So keep on studying on the organs of the body, their locations in the body, like I mentioned earlier, and what particular function or job they perform. Thank you so much for your audience. I'll see you next time in my segment. Bye for now.